Now, for a guy who claimed to have been in solitary confinement for 3 months, he was looking pretty good. In fact, he looked better after 3 months in solitary than I look after 6 hours in bed, but maybe that says something about me. CNN reporter Clarissa escorted the victim out into the fresh air, where his acting skills turned out to be every bit as good as his reportedly brutal interrogation skills. The CNN crew was so loving that they were part of the story. The whole thing was basically a selfie. It never seemed to have occurred to them that this was all just a little bit too, clean.
After 3 months in a windowless cell, he can finally see the sky. My God, the light, he says. Oh God, there is light. My God, there is light.
Now, of course, he wasn't actually saying, oh God, there's light. He was really saying, thank you, God, for sending me the dupes from CNN. CNN, of course, have spent the past decade being duped by Russian collusion, Biden's mental capacity, the border, inflation. And now their reporter is getting kisses from an alleged war criminal. You can't make this stuff up. Assad's brutal enforcer was so loving CNN, he didn't want them to leave.
Stay with me, stay with me, he repeats again and again.
And they were so busy being part of the story, they didn't notice his tip-top physical condition, his nice clothing, his impeccable grooming, and his lack of any injuries or even bruises to think that, well, maybe they'd been catfished. Meanwhile, Salama was putting on a performance worthy of the Oscars as CNN quite literally ate it up.
The fighter hands him something to eat. Barely lifted to his mouth. But his body can't handle it.
Okay, you're okay.
Now, it was only after this CNN exclusive went viral that local fact-checkers alerted the network they had just released one of Assad's most notorious henchmen. Oops. They said the man CNN set free, kissed and fed had been responsible for the murder and torture of citizens who would not act as informers for Assad. The way things are going, I expect that next week Salama Mohammad will cross the Mexican border into the United States, where Joe Biden will be waiting with a pardon. And a month after that, he'll probably turn up on CNN as their Middle East correspondent. Addressing the fiasco, CNN today said they were, quote, aware Salama may have given a false identity. No kidding. But CNN, the most trusted name in news, never thought to check what Salama had told them. Then again, they never think to check what the Hamas-run health ministry tells them about casualties in Gaza either. Speaking of which, what are the odds that the Albanese government's checks on Gazans given visas to come to Australia are about as thorough as CNN's?